Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Simple Lines pendant. This is the 188600. So this is a great pendant to put over a kitchen island, lots of other places, but it also can be short enough to be a semi-flush, so check it out. So let's get into the height of the fixture body itself, and that's going to be independent of the rods that it's hanging from. It's going to be 6.3 inches high, and that's going to be the distance from the bottom of the glass to the top of what we call the fitter, and that's the part that's holding the glass. The diameter is 5 inches round, and that's both the canopy on the ceiling and the piece of glass on the bottom, so just something you should know. Okay, why don't we hop into overall height. Now, overall height is the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling itself, and you can see that there's a range that you can attain. Hubbardton Forge does this by using a system of these interconnected rods, which I'll talk about in a second. So, shortest this can be is 8.7, which makes it great to be a semi-flush, but it can go all the way to 53.7, which makes it a perfect pendant. You'll use different combinations of these rods to get you to what you need for your needs, basically. If you need this to be longer than 53.7, drop me a quick email. Say you're looking at the 188600. Tell me what you need. So tell me that you're looking for 74 inches overall height or 96 or something like that. I'm going to take your email, send it to Hubbardton Forge's Customs Department. It'll come back with an answer. Most likely we can do whatever you need to, and adds a little time and money, but we do it every day. It's not a big deal. So let's get into how this all works. So if you get a chance, if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on this side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you line drawings, which are great of the canopy that's up on top of this. It's also going to show you how we put it together, which is very simple. So what you're going to do basically to assemble this, put down two nice fluffy bath towels on a counter or a table end to end. The part that holds the glass you're going to put on one end, that's the socket part, and you're just going to lay out these little parts, and you're going to lay them out basically. That's the end of the socket, and then the pipe, and then the part that puts it together, and then the pipe again, a connector, all the way till you get to your canopy, which is on the end, and you're going to feed the wires through all these little pieces. When you're done, you're simply going to screw them together, and it takes just a second to do that, like that, and look at that. You can barely even see a seam. It's very, very, very clean. It's a nice look. The top of this has what's called a canopy. Canopy goes over your 4-inch junction box. This is going to be a 5-inch canopy. It's kind of got a slight dome to it. And if you guys are using a slope ceiling, let's say you have a cathedral ceiling, this is already set up to be slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already. So you're already there. You don't even need to do anything special with us anyway. As far as the glass going on, don't put the glass on until the fixture is already installed up. That's the last thing you're going to do. So you can see in those install instructions, you can see the inside of this too. So that's just a nice way to get a look of it inside. Why don't we talk about glass for a second? So the glass on this is going to be a clear outer glass, totally clear, no air bubbles, nothing like that. The inner glass on this is going to act as a diffuser, so you can't see the socket. That's going to be opal, which is a glass I'll talk about later on. It's an opaque white glass. I'll talk about it more in detail later in the video. It's going to be hiding this guy inside, and this is a G9 socket. In the old days, they used to call them G9 halogen sockets, but you can use all kinds of bulbs for them. A quick note on one thing though. So let's zero back to the glass for a second before we do anything else. So the glass on this, you're going to notice there is a smaller piece inside, a bigger piece on the outside. What's going to keep them attached to the fixture is called a retaining ring. So the retaining ring has a flat side right there and has a ridged side, and then it has threading on the inside, two little notches, one on each side of the circle. This is going to be coming with what's called a retaining ring tool. It's a piece of metal. You can see right through it. It takes the place of your hand because your hand is too big to get inside that little piece of glass to put this onto the socket. So basically, you're going to pop that right in there. The flat side is going to be facing out. You're going to put the piece of glass on top and then the other piece of glass on top, and you're simply just going to turn it. You're going to turn it righty, tighty, loosey, lefty, and you're going to get it nice and snug on there. Don't go too hard on it. You don't want to crack your glass. When you take this off, you're going to put this into a junk drawer someplace and forget about it for a while. But at least you'll have it in the future if you need it. So everything will be together, and this will be holding the glass onto the fixture. Now, why don't we talk about something else? Let's talk about that socket and bulbs. So Socket you already know is a G9. It's going to be able to take up to a 60 watt G9 halogen, and this is a dimmable fixture. These dim beautifully, so don't be afraid to use them. And you can get these all over the place too. But you can also use LEDs in this, and I talk about LEDs all the time. And the best way to go about LEDs when you get into these kind of specialty bulbs, you can go to Just Bulbs or 1001 Bulbs. We go to Amazon. It's just easier. Have an Amazon Prime account. And on a big computer, it's easy to see all the different ones when they pop up. So you'll go into any search engine, Amazon or anybody else, and you're going to put in G9 LED. And this is what's going to pop up. So you're going to have all of these guys, and you'll notice they have little loops on the bottom. Sometimes they're tabs, sometimes they're wires. They have two little, one going that way, one going that way. And they simply just push right in to the socket, just like that. So super easy to use. When you get into these things, you've got phosphorus ones. The phosphorus ones have the orange stripes and lines through the middle. The ones that look like corn cobs are called Cob LEDs, for obvious reason. And this one is actually a 75 watt equivalent. It's got a clear cover on it. This fits into that fixture really great. And I got this on Amazon. It's also a dimmable bulb. That's going to be so important when you guys are playing around with the dimmers. This one is it's either a 40 watt equivalent or a 60 watt equivalent. I can't remember, but it's got a frosted thing on there. And then all of these, I tend to see these phosphorus ones with clear outer shells. So there you go. Anyway, so I talk about the color of light with LEDs all the time. You'll see a spectrum of light called Kelvin. 2700 Kelvin or 2700 K is going to be super yellow like the setting sun. Way on the other side of that is called daylight, and daylight sounds warm, but it's not. That is a very cold blue light like a hospital waiting room. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 K or Kelvin. In the middle of all that is called warm white, and warm white is what we use in our showroom all over the place. The light coming down on me right now, this is 3,000 Kelvin warm white LEDs coming from above me, and that's what we use all the time, and it looks just like incandescent light. So my choice for this would probably be a G9, maybe a 75 watt or a 60 watt equivalent 3,000 Kelvin dimmable bulb. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variants on there in that video, so it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do, do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with, measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes, widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads laying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.